Hi everybody, my name is Aurora and I have the channel Armed Heart, and today I'm just going to give you a little short sort of exercise to follow through with the energy that we've been experiencing over the last few weeks. I will go into a bit more detail at a later stage, but it has to do with setting energetic boundaries in terms of where you are in your stage of development, in terms of where you are for yourself, where you are and what you're experiencing with others around you, as well as the sense of finding the last bit of remnants or memories that are coming through to you that you may have experienced over the last few weeks. Old things coming up for discussion within yourself, having an inner clearing or a reset in terms of that. Bear in mind that if you remember all your timelines, if you remember all of your lifetimes and you have a full set of memories, I know I do. I have all my memories intact from the very first moment that I came to the planet and however many timelines ago. That some of those things might come through as well, bleed throughs where you're having to deal with where you are in terms of the greater adjustment. And this little exercise has to do with going into yourself more so, rather than to close your eyes and go into a meditative state. It is just a simple requirement where you have to find yourself in a peaceful space and really sort of doing an internal evaluation where you are. Now, I found that this actually worked for me. And this is my personal experience where I actually focused. I took a deep breath in. You take a deep breath in and you fill your body with the energy, and then you close your eyes and you feel as if you're going in this. It's like you're a bird on the streams of the currents of the wind. So you're doing the same thing. You're basically feeling that energy as you breathe in. You're feeling as if you're moving within your oxygen, within your air that you're breathing into your body. And then you exhale and the same process goes and the same thing happens. You feel the energy leaving your mouth and you feel yourself moving with the air of the air that you breathe in. And then while you're doing that, try and focus on a spot on your body. I choose the heart because that is what I work with, as well as the solar plexus and every other part of the body. And try and breathe into each of your segments in your body. It's like you're going to bring in air and consciousness, or the awareness of your consciousness, into yourself. So deep breath in, feeling the air come into your nostrils and into your neck, into your voice box, into your heart and into your stomach, and then press the energy down in your stomach and then let the air come back out again through your mouth. So through your nose and out through your mouth. Do this a few times until you can feel yourself floating sort of inside of yourself. Then here's another, before I carry on further, I would like to give you a tip. If you're battling to get yourself in that state of mind, I would like for you to just take your hand and put your hand on your chest, anywhere. You can put it on your shoulder as well, wherever you want to do it, but place your hand on your chest or anywhere on your body. You can even touch your other hand and try and focus, or try and understand, or be in the awareness of that when you touch your neck or your chest, or again, using an example, I'm going to touch my chest here. I would like for you to try and feel with your chest the tips of your fingers. Feel, bring your consciousness to your chest so that your your consciousness can be aware of your hand touching your chest. So when you get that sense, then remove your hand, take a deep breath in, exhale. Put your hand back there again and try and feel with your hand your chest. So you alternate between the two streams of consciousness. You also bring your brain into a focus, a sort of balanced focus, so that you become aware of that sensation. And in doing that, you'll be able to, after you've done that little switch and sort of bring yourself in balance, then try and do the deep breathing in and feel the air inside of your body going throughout your entire body. Put your hand also on your stomach. If you're feeling very panicky, put your hand on your tummy. Let your tummy feel your hand. Deep breath in, let go, put your hand, take your hand away, and then put your hand back there on your tummy and do the same. Feel the pressure of your fingertips on your tummy and feel the presence of your hand on your tummy. Feel the presence of your tummy with your hand. That's what I'm trying to explain. I hope this makes sense. If you're stuck, just let me know. It's mainly to do with bringing yourself into a balanced state. And then after you've taken that deep breath in and you're feeling your air inside of you, I would like for you to bring your thoughts, your consciousness to your heart or your stomach, wherever you feel instinctively you're drawn to go to. Go into that area. Perhaps it's an area that you need to work on. Perhaps if it's your stomach and it's lower, perhaps towards your bladder area, you may have to work on releasing tension there. Each part of your body represents a specific emotional issue that you're going through. So I then go into my heart and I find myself traveling inward into an inner verse or inverse or an internal universe, however you want to explain or however you want to sort of interpret that. But it is open for interpretation. I'm just using that as an example, those words. There are no words that describe that sense of place that you go to. It's not even such a place. It's just more a sense of being. That you're going into another state of beingness. And so being in that state, when you're sort of going in, you start to become aware of all of your thoughts. You're becoming aware of your higher consciousness and the communication that you have with your higher consciousness, and the other way around, where you're basically adjusting and talking to yourself and really telling yourself that everything is okay. You're in a place where you're calm. You don't need to accumulate this for that. You don't need to be there for this, for that. All these conditions come up for you to resolve. Your higher consciousness, which is great spirit, which is your spirit, your higher, that which is not inside here, and that which is anchored through the soul in the avatar, has a communication with you, has a conversation with you. It's like you're having a conversation with Great Spirit, with the greater universal consciousness. And while you're having this conversation, you will, and after you resolve these conditions, for example, I don't have to, it's just an example, I don't have to be there at 5 o'clock on the dot to do that. I choose to be there because of this. So whenever there's the forced state of condition, it is a perception. It's based on a perception that you have, that you've agreed to decide to be there. Let me get to a more closer sort of example for you to follow what I'm trying to explain. Okay, so I don't have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I work for myself. I don't have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning If I feel I have to, then I've placed a condition on myself based on a perception of fear, that if I don't wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, then the world's going to fall apart. So I choose to have the conversation with myself where I say, okay, though I have agreed to feel that have the perception and fear is involved in that if I don't wake up at 6 o'clock, then my day is going to be out of loop, out of sync. This is an example. I choose to wake up at that time, and I feel comfortable about it. I am in control of everything that I'm going to be doing that specific day. I hope this makes sense. After you've had this sort of inner thing, and if you're struggling to bring it all sort of into a understanding for yourself, you're very welcome to drop me a line and just bounce some ideas off, and I can help you with the way for you to understand that. Wherever there's a condition, there's fear. Whenever there's fear in a conditioned state, there is a contract that you've agreed to have for yourself, that you've placed on top of yourself or above yourself, or you've placed yourself in it. And that is not part of the authentic self. The authentic self is a sense of presence where you're going through things, you're going through the motions, but you are not letting go of who you are. You're not putting yourself out there or away. You're not avoiding, or I'm trying to find the word now. You're not negating your presence, your existence. You are being in the presence of your higher self, in your authentic sense of higher consciousness. It has also to do with what we do to accommodate things in our life. If we choose to accommodate ourselves, or if we choose to allow ourselves to be accommodated by other things that we have not agreed to, there is a problem there. It means you're living for something else. You're not living for you. You're not being in the life existence or in the loving place of yourself. Granted, we've all chosen to be in avatar forms. Here, you can still decide to be completely aware of being in the avatar form, and thus, in that way, you'll be able to clear and remove these things that bring fear to you. It will take some time. It's a work in progress. I'm experimenting with this. As I say, I'm always my own guinea pig. So as I'm doing this, I'll update you and give you ideas on what I'm going through should it come up. But in terms of the technical other details, the esoteric information, that is still going to come. I'll bring a more clear sort of view on why we're going through these things. Consider this, that it is important for you to embrace your authentic self. If you have not embraced your authentic self, you don't know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you are not allowing yourself a place to experience things, a space of having a freedom of movement, because this is really what it's about. This whole exercise, physical exercise that I'm sharing with you, has to do with allowing yourself to experience freedom of movement. Freedom of movement in terms of energy, freedom of movement in terms of who you are, feeling your wings, experiencing your joy for you. Once you start to take note of these feelings, you will get over a depression that you might have. It will help you to deal with fear. It'll help you to see things for what they are. It will also explain to you that most things and that all things are scripted. All things are based on the word. And that's what is important. The word is a script or a program that this constructed world is existing in. And for us to take note of that and to seriously consider ourselves as being free in who we are. Thank you very much for your support. I always say thank you. And I'm supporting you guys. And so look after yourselves and have a beautiful day or a beautiful evening. Rest well and take things a little bit more. Just do things a little bit slower. Just focus a little bit more on your breath. That's what we need to be tapping into right now. Aside from all of the great dramas that we're in. Remember, they are all just dramas. It's like going into a movie theater or going to the carnival and experiencing all these things that we're going through, where you've actually bought the ticket to take part of. You don't have to. You seriously don't have to do that. As long as you know who you are, you can see what you want to do, what you don't have to do. You have the choice. You have the choice to decide to accept exploitation. You have the choice to accept things or not. Just because you're seeing it does not mean that you're agreeing to it. And when you agree to something, you actually give it life. So be very, very aware and be very, very mindful what you're thinking, what you're creating. What you think is what you create. Right now we're in creation 100% 101 immediate. So be very, very aware of what you're thinking. If you're thinking, yeah, I'm a loser, then you're going to stay a loser. You're going to lose out on things. Anyway, much love. Bye.